Right, in today's video, we're going to be replacing the engine coolant temperature sensor on a 6.2 liter V8 Yukon, Tahoe, or an Escalade, or 5.3 between 2015 to 2020. This is the part number that I'm using, 192365668. I believe they'll also have another part number or some generic ones you could pick up on your local auto parts. If you have erratic temperature readings, this could be the culprit, or if you have a bad thermostat. Also, we're going to cover that in a different video. If you have your cooling fans that stay on after you turn off the car, this could be an issue, or the thermostat. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect the negative battery terminal to get the job started. All right, so let's go ahead and remove the negative terminal using your 10 millimeter socket. And you might want to put a little rag to isolate it, because sometimes it goes back to the original location. All right, first thing we're going to do is remove the intake cover. We're going to remove this one here, pop it up, slide it out. Very simple. All right, same thing on the other side. All right, using your 8 millimeter, you're going to remove the clamp here by the throttle body. And you have one here by your air filter also. Go ahead and wiggle. And same thing on the air filter side. All right. All right, let's go ahead and remove the little silver safety lock. I like to remove it so that way it's a little easier and you don't lose it. And you're gonna kind of press on this and wiggle up the plug. Comes right out. Inspect it. Don't break it. All right, so you could use a 19 millimeter or a 3/4, or open and wrench, whichever one's easier for you. These usually are not very tight. So one of the things I want to be doing is I'm going to press on this. I'm going to open up the reservoir, the expansion tank. I'm going to press on this to be, have a little bit of back pressure. Okay, press it. Or you could lock it if you have one of those locking pliers. And then I'm going to close the tank, so when I remove the sensor, I don't spill as much coolant. It's not on there tight. Comes with a lock washer and some Loctite. And we could do this different ways. You could have the other one ready, so once you remove it, you put it in. There's different ways of doing this. Once you're almost ready to remove it, you could put your finger on here so you don't lose a lot of coolant. And then put the other one in by hand. All right, so once you have it nice and loose, let's go ahead and just remove it. Put your finger on there, kind of like to hold the liquid so it doesn't spill. And then we'll slide the new one in. Oh, look at that. That little back pressure trick worked perfect. All right, so this is the old one. Wipe it down a little bit. By putting a little negative pressure on the system, just by squeezing this and closing the tank, look at that, perfect. No spill whatsoever. All right, let's go ahead and put it in by hand only. Remember, it has a crush washer. And it comes with a Loctite already. All right, so once you get to, it gets a little hard, you're just gonna go a little bit snug. Okay, remember, you don't wanna break the aluminum. It has that little crush washer in there, and that's it. Okay. The orientation of the clip, it's not gonna line up, so you're gonna have to just put it in whichever way it falls in. Make sure it locks in, pull back, and then we'll go ahead and put the little locking tab on there. There we go. Make sure it locks in, and you're pretty much good to go. All right, so let's put the battery terminal back in. Tighten it with your 10mm. All right, time to put back your intake. Be very, very careful with this. This happened to me last time. It got caught inside. It went inside, so I wasn't getting a proper seal. So definitely, make sure, keep an eye on that. Maybe put a little lubrication to make sure it gets in there. And you do have a clip on the left side that you might want to go in where the filter is first. Put the little metal clip on the left side into the slot. And then slowly put it back in. Use your 8mm to tighten your clamp. Same thing where the air box is. And now you can put in your 2 little hoses. Make sure it clips all the way, both sides. And you're pretty much done. All right, so in my case, my coolant's a little low from before, way back. I'm going to be replacing the coolant, completely. That's going to be our next project. So definitely run your heater for a little bit so any air bubbles in the system, come out. And also make sure, your cap is on, everything is good. And we're going to go ahead and check the gauges and make sure they're working. All right, and the last thing is to put your cover back in, slide it in. All right, and we're good to go. All right, so after changing the temperature sensor, the readings kept on doing about the same thing. It would take a long time to warm up. So it was the actual thermostat that it was kind of like getting stuck at the beginning. And then it would open up, and I was having some weird, changes on the temperature. So definitely, if you're gonna do one, might as well do both of them. Also, if you're having your fans stay on after you turn off the vehicle, then you know that most likely it's going to be your thermostat. So, I mean, it'd be a good idea to change both of them at the same time since you have, the area opened up. And if you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Don't forget to like and follow. Do check out some of our links that do help out the channel. See you guys on the next project.